You're rocking with the best. It's the Beat Break Morning Show, the Beat Break Podcast. I'm casting on thinkingoutloudnetwork.com as well as on beatbreakradiofm.com. Don't forget to download the Podcast FM app to your mobile devices and to any of your smart devices. Don't forget, like I mentioned in the first hour of the podcast and the morning show, we are on Roku TV. So you can download any app to the Roku TV to find us on the Reach One Network, whether it's Spotify, iHeart Podcast, or even TuneIn, as well as YouTube. We can also be seen on YouTube as well. So download any of those apps to your Roku TV. And while you sitting back and relaxing, you can watch the Beat Break Morning Show anytime on demand. But we definitely want you to get that Podcast FM app available on beatbreakradiofm.com. Sean Garvey, DJ Rollum, and the Wake Up Ladies. We are the Beat Break Morning Show, the Beat Break Podcast. Follow us on all social media at Beat Break Radio, Facebook, Twitter, and on Instagram. Welcome to the second hour of the Beat Break Morning Show, the Beat Break Podcast. The first hour of the morning show was super long-winded. I cannot find another adjective word to describe the first hour of the podcast because we were just talking about so many different things, but we are going to still stick on the important topic pertaining to the gas shortage still happening here on the East Coast seaboard, as well as the big thing that, of course, everybody is still talking about. You hear it in the news every 5 minutes, the vaccination. Who got it? Actually, today's topic, if you're just tuning in, we are talking, well, actually, let me just set up the stage and let you all know what the topic is because I find it funny. It is life is too shortage. So what is the Vac-Up plan? Life is too shortage. So what is the Vac-Up plan? And DJ Rollum, I appreciate DJ Rollum for doing the caffeine and energy drink mix for that 30 minutes so we can jump right back into the subject at hand here. And he had to go. Apparently, he said something during the first hour of the show to where police showed up at his door and want to take him downtown to ask him some questions here. If you missed out on what DJ Rollum had said in the first part of the show, you can always go back and listen to it. It's involving a woman that him and this other friend, I guess, from back in the day kicked it with. Let's just say that. And okay, let me stop lying. Police did not show up at his door. Police did not show up at his door. But we, God forbid, that the police do not show up at his door. Very funny part of the show. But DJ Rollum had to actually step out to go take care of some business affairs. So appreciate it, DJ Rollum, for the caffeine and energy drink mix. We needed that coming out of the discussion on vaccination. Of course, people are still getting vaccinated, and you have those that have not gotten vaccinated yet. So let me play some music in the background here because we still testing some things out here at the Reach One Network, Beat Break 87 FM studios. Ooh, this sounds so lovely, don't you agree? But yes, people are still getting vaccinated, and there are those that have not gotten vaccinated yet because some people choose to not get vaccinated. And it's crazy because, President Joe Biden came out days ago and announced to the world that anybody that has been vaccinated can go into any place of business or anywhere across the country without wearing a mask, that stinking mask that you've been wearing for a year. And for those that have not been vaccinated and maybe are in the process of getting vaccinated, still have to wear a mask. All right. So what are your thoughts on that? You can comment on our social media pages at Beat Break Radio, Facebook, Twitter, and on Instagram. But before we get into all of that, got to bring up my homegirl. She is back on the Beat Break Morning Show. So full of light, so full of energy. Miss She Talk Atlanta herself, Star Kels, is in the house.
Yay!
Good morning, Star.
Good morning. Fantastic. And I just want to say, I love how you say my last name.
You like Kels? I remember the first time I said Kills.
I know, and I was like, killing, really? But I be killing it.
You be killing it. There you go. There you go. Star Kills is in the building. I'm sorry, Star Kills. Miss She Talk Atlanta, thank you for coming on the show. And we have her own special guest joining with us right here on the Beat Break Morning Show, the Beat Break Podcast, for the very first time. He goes by B Diddy LLC.
I'm a friend of the show. I'm a friend of the show. I'm
You're
happy
a friend
to
of
be
the
here.
show. Okay.
It's your boy Jeff Bezos, aka Big Picture Brandon, aka B Diddy Dollars, aka Diddy Tarantino, because I make movies. I'm a DJ on High Unique Radio every Monday. I'm the founder of the Heartland Podcast. I am also the host of T Money Exclusives, which is on Block 105 Radio every Thursday. Also, I'm a producer at BE100 Radio, working with Mocha's Madhouse, soon to be released podcast and show that's coming out. I'm going on tour with the Heartland Boom Festival, which I partner up with Sonic Boom Music Group. We are going to Denver July 10th. All you artists, hit me up at B Diddy the DJ. Get your slots for July 10th. We're going to Denver and we're going to Chicago on June 24th. Hit me up. I'm also looking book dates in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. So any of my promoters out there in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, holla at my boy. What's happening? Throw your fours. What's up?
Nice, man. So many jobs and so many alias names, man. I love it. I love it.
I'm also go by Free Smoke the Bear, Run Up, Get Done Up. I go by Colin Keep It Big because I stay lit. Okay. I go by Cashew Jones, aka Arizona Slim, aka the Top Washer, aka Open Bar Shorty, aka Bottom Bunk Shorty, and we can just go on and on. I'm really glad to be here. Thank you for having me. You know what I mean? It's Big Picture Brandon. Listen, I want to tell everybody out there, number one thing, stay hydrated, okay?
Stay hydrated. That is a great PSA. And I think we don't talk a lot about that on the show or on this particular show. Stay hydrated because, you know, we coming on summer. It's going to be summer. It's going to be hot as hell. So, hey, listen, all this crazy stuff that we've been hearing on the news about the water bottle boys, either bring your own water, BYOW, bring your own water or support them, but be careful. That's all I say. That part.
I support always, though.
Absolutely. What you got going on, Miss She Talk Atlanta? What you got going on?
Well, on my end, you know, I always have the show going on. I literally don't want to steal a spotlight. I feel like B Diddy Dollars came in and he represented with all his accolades.
Let's go. I'm not really getting it cracking, man. I got I'm at Uptown Comedy Club on Monday. Come up there.
B Diddy Dollars. Calm down. It is time for the queen to introduce herself, okay?
Okay, go ahead.
Oh my God.
He is on a roll, Sean, ain't he?
So what you got going on? What you got going on before we get into the news?
Okay, so what I got going on now, I am on season 2 of the Star Kill show, and we're doing a new segment on the show called Address It, and you guys got to tune in. Y'all can follow me on any podcast platform at the Star Kill show, and that's Star with 2 R's. And make sure you guys hit me up on Instagram and Facebook at She Talk Atlanta. And join my She Talk Atlanta group. We stay lit and we always talking about some crazy stuff. So that's what I got going on now. And I'm going to go live actually after this for another Address It topic. So stay tuned.
Okay, so just so Star would know, you can cuss on the morning show. You can cuss now. Because
God, you know I love to say the F word.
And what F word was it? Yep.
I talk about my drug use. There, y'all laughing.
We don't advocate drugs, ladies and gentlemen, but
okay.
Oh boy. All right. So let's get
so cuss is okay, the F word is okay, but y'all draw the line at Molly.
Yeah. We gotta draw the line.
I'm talking about the song by Fujiano. I'm not talking about Stay with the kids. Don't do drugs. Kids is bad.
Right.
What are we talking about? What's going on here?
All right. Yeah, I had to switch up the beat real quick. I had to switch it up. All right. So I'm bringing back fake news and not fake news, ladies and gentlemen. Fake news and not fake news is a segment that me and DJ Roland had done last year, in which we pull out. Actually, I was the main one doing it. I was pulling out news stories and letting you, the viewers, the listeners, know or determine whether the stories are fake or not fake, and you decide whether they are fake or not fake. So I'm bringing that back. All right. Yeah, indeed. So I want to, matter of fact, I want to go into two stories that are not fake. I want to go ahead and do that are not fake, because I think one is very inspiring. So Jaden Smith, we all know Jaden Smith, Will Smith's son, right? Jaden Smith, he is continuing his fight against homelessness by opening up a restaurant to help provide free meals to those in need. A young business entrepreneur. Yes, Jaden Smith. I got to give a round of applause for that. Yeah. Jaden Smith, the rapper, actor, is expanding his I Love You food truck initiative into a full-blown restaurant to feed the homeless. I didn't know that Jaden Smith had a food truck. Wow. But he's gonna take it up a notch. He's gonna take it to the next level with it. Young Jaden Smith. Yeah. What you think about that, Star?
I think it's beautiful. A lot of people don't know, but I love humanitarian work and I love to feed the homeless. I love to give back to the community, and just him being a part of that new generation and actually taking that step forward and being a leader in that way, I think it's beautiful. And me and my daughter are both sensitive to the growing population of homeless people, just even in the United States. So the fact that he is opening up his doors, restaurant, food truck, and all of that to make sure that they're eating and they're taken care of, I think is beautiful. Kudos to Jaden.
Absolutely. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. He says in an interview that it is for homeless people to get free food. He also goes on to say, but if you are not homeless, not only do you have to pay, but you have to pay for more than the food's worth so that you can pay for the person behind you. I wonder what the prices are going to look like for the food. So if you're a baller, shot caller, then hey, pull up to Jaden Smith's food truck, or actually his soon-to-be restaurant, and help the homeless people out. You got that bread, you got that money. Help the homeless people out. We don't do that on a daily basis. B?
I do see a hole for light-skin discrimination, though. So I may look like I have more money than I do. So Jay, just because I I come in smelling like I smell, I may have my hair may be done. Do not hit me with the light-skin tax, please, Jay. I just want I would like to put it on a sliding scale. I'm just worried that they're gonna have it all the way turned up on me and my fellow light-skinned brethren.
Did they say what the name of it was?
I'm gonna go back to it real quick. It's a very unique type. Oh, it's called I Love You Food Truck. Well, it's probably gonna be called I Love You Restaurant, based off of that. So the food truck that Jaden Smith was a part of or owned, it was called I Love You Food Truck, and it might turn into, being the same name. I Love You Restaurant. I love you.
I was going to guess that the name of his restaurant actually wasn't going to be letters and symbols. He seems like that type of cat. It's like heart shape, letter U.
Right. No, yeah.
I can see that. And it'd be the first.
Yeah.
It'd be the first. Yeah.
Him and Elon Musk, they got a habit of apparently naming things with characters and not letters.
That's a good point.
What are they doing out in Hollywood? How am I going to Google I love you? What's the website? You know what I mean? There's no eyeball emojis don't work in my search bar, but we can keep them.
Hey, I would love to see that. I would love, keyword, I would love to see that, pull up to a restaurant and there's nothing but symbols on there. I was like, okay, you don't know if it's a restaurant or a place of faith. Which one?
You'd be like, yes, I would like the alligator praying hands.
Oh my goodness. That is something that I'm sorry, that made me literally laugh. That made me literally laugh.
How does the snake and diamond taste? You know what I mean?
I'm sorry.
Next topic. I'm sorry.
No, you good. We having our comedic moment, B, but I'm glad that I mentioned comedic because this segue into something that I want to talk about really quick on a serious note. Paul Mooney, iconic comedian and comedic writer for another iconic, Richard Pryor, passed away recently, died at the age of 79. A very heavy blow to the comedy industry. A lot of big name comedic comics from Marlon Wayans to Lil Whale, a few other comics just went on social media and expressed how much this iconic comedian, actor, comedic writer has meant to them in the comedy industry. Didn't see it coming, Star. I really didn't see it coming. I mean, we like it's May, Star and B, and we just came out of a month of 3 deaths, or actually it's been more than 3 deaths, but we just came out of a month where, DMX passed away and Black Rob and Shock G from Digital Underground, and fast forward to Paul Mooney, who made us laugh. I've seen him in a lot of projects, seen his stand-up comedy shows, and he's one of my favorite comedians. He's not in the top 5, to be honest with you, but he is up there. He's like in my top 10, top 20 favorite comedians of all time.
He's in my top probably 3 because I love his transparency. I love his braveness. I love how he could just be completely who he is.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like he paved the way for a Chappelle and some of the more, I guess, outspoken comedians because of his confidence, his charisma, and just his facts. He be on point. I mean, Paul Mooney, R.I.P. Peace and blessings to him.
Yeah.
I definitely, seriously will miss him. Like, it actually saddened my heart when I saw it. I was like, oh no, not Paul.
Yeah.
I had a chance. I read Paul Mooney's biography. Paul Mooney, he was a dancer. He was a part of, from the West Coast, I believe he was on one of those TV shows. I can't think of the name right now. He was a confidant of a Richard Pryor. He did not write directly for Richard. He was more like a producer. Richard wrote all his own stuff, but Paul was somebody that every time you heard a Richard Pryor comedy special, you can pay attention. Everybody out there in Radio Land, listen to a Richard Pryor comedy special, and you will hear Paul Mooney's laugh in the background. He was there. He was there all the way from California days to now. He was 79 years old when he passed away, which is a little different than, to me, it's set differently than the epidemic that we're seeing, where we're getting our older rappers who are passing away now, the people that are in their 50s and in poor health. We're seeing that happen with rappers, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Paul Mooney lived a full life, passed away at 79 years old. I heard from a comedian that there was a story about he was dealing with illness for some time. So I trust that him and his family hopefully got a chance to say rest in peace. And I wish the best for the family and everybody involved in the situation. None but much love to Paul Mooney.
Absolutely.
Know what you should do, Paul? If you are sticking up your middle finger to anybody and you don't stick it up halfway, you are disrespecting Paul Mooney. I need all full-fledged, full salute middle fingers, because Paul Mooney's gonna look at you like you ain't doing it right.
I can see Paul Mooney.
Yes.
Like in a few days when they bury him, I can see Paul Mooney sticking his middle finger out from his burial site.
For sure.
Or it might be on his tombstone. How about that?
Bury him upside down so he can kiss his ass.
Yeah. That could work. Hey,
love it.
Want to do it? Yeah. All right. Now, on to some other stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Fake news or not fake news? I'm gonna throw it out there. You decide whether this is fake or not fake. Okay. Love and hip hop Atlanta star Mo Fane pleads not guilty in PPP loan fraud case. Fake news or not fake news?
Not fake news.
Not fake news. Okay, what do you say, B?
Not fake news.
Not fake news.
Of course.
All right.
Of course, you're gonna plead not guilty to the PPP.
Yeah.
That's.
And he did.
I don't know anything about loans, Your Honor.
Wait, now is it PPP? Is it PPP or PPE? Because they have PPP on it.
3 P's.
PPP is what you put on your face. PPP is what you put in your pockets.
Gotcha.
Paper.
Mm-hmm.
If you're down with PPP, yeah, you know me.
Hey, oh.
Was that real or was that fake?
It's real. It's real.
I have no idea who that person is.
Of course it's real. That sounds very real, and it sounds like some shit that would be happening from artists or reality TV people, especially on Love and
I know these reality stars keep getting into trouble, Star.
They love trouble. They like that shit. They like going to jail. They like getting caught up in scams and all types of stuff. That's their judge. Yeah.
So the story is real. According to a recent report from TMZ, Mo Fane, I don't even know who Mo Fane is.
I don't know who he is either.
I don't even watch Love and Hip Hop Atlanta like that.
But I don't know who he is. Like, he must have been some.
This is probably why he had to take out that PPP loan. One of the stars of the hit reality show is facing some serious prison time after he reached a plea deal in his PPP loan fraud case. And you know what's so crazy? I'm looking at the photo and I can see myself putting out a meme of him because this expression on his face is like that. Really? Like, are you serious, my G? Like, really,
wow.
face? I could just use that against them on social media and be like, really?
I'm telling people they got to be very careful with these PPP loans because I feel like on the slick, the government is trying to get people caught up, get some more funding. We've been kind of down for the last year and a half, 2 years, and the government hasn't been able to make any money. They can't get tickets and doing all of this stuff, like the DMV was closed. I mean, so many things locally and statewide. So I think the PPP loans is a way for them to start, getting people back in jail and making some slave money off of them being in there. And it's getting people caught up.
Getting deep. Yeah, it's been getting deep. It's like, this all goes back to the white man.
Well, I wouldn't take it that far back, but I mean, if the shoe fits.
I'm nodding my head like, yeah, the white man. So I was like, no. I'm like, oh, no. I think that the PPP loan is a stimulus package for businesses. If we just really look at it like that, go through your bank. It's white collar welfare. Go through your bank. If they're approving it at Wells Fargo, Bank of America, you're going through the right channels, you're doing it right. From my understanding, the PPP is going to be great for a lot of people because they could pay themselves, essentially. If you had your business set up, you could say that you're paying yourself, and a lot of this stuff is going to get forgiven because the banks are all in on it. The banks are making the money. So there's going to be I'm predicting not as many people are going to go to jail as you think because...
No, I don't think a lot will, but I think they are trying to get people caught up.
I'm saying the numbers are, if you put in the bank in there, if we start getting it caught up, I feel like you're going to start bringing in white people, and the white man don't want that. So they're going to kind of smooth it underneath the rug. There's a lot of people. Yeah, we're talking about the people in public housing. Like I saw somebody brought a list, said people in public housing are getting PPP loans, excuse me. But there's also people who aren't in public housing who are doing the same exact thing, have the same exact standards to prove and forgive and verify their business, etc. So they're going, as long as you meet those standards, it's going to be a great, like, exactly. Like you, regardless of your color, a lot of people are going to meet those standards. So if you worked with a banker, I think there's the fear of jail is just a lot of times a lot of people like to talk. And I feel like a lot of people it's a lot of slick hating because they didn't get no PPP.
Yeah, including me. I didn't get no PPP. They didn't approve me.
Look, I'm about to log on to my account after we get off this phone call and see if I get that. I'm working with a banker. I'm working with a banker to make sure I get my stuff together.
Absolutely, man. So we're gonna see how this plays out with Mo Fain, whose real name is actually Maurice Fain. He pleads guilty to 6 counts of federal bank fraud after fraudulently taking part in the PPP. Of course, it stands for Paycheck Protection Program, which is meant to protect small businesses affected by COVID-19. So he took advantage of that, and that's just what it is, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to see how that pans out. All right, and also, last but not least, fake news and not fake news. Woman says she accidentally put $26 million winning lottery ticket in the washer. Fake news or not fake news?
Well, I don't, for certain, I haven't heard of anybody winning a lotto for 26 million. I guess because I hadn't been watching it like that. I don't play the lotto. I know it is possible that somebody can, leave it in their pants or something and wash it, but I haven't heard of anybody winning 26 million. So I would say kind of like fake.
Okay, Star says fake. What about you, B?
I feel like it's a real news story, but I feel like she's lying about that lotto ticket.
Okay.
Right.
All right, so the story is not fake. This actually happens, or she allegedly says this happened. So a woman says she accidentally put her $26 million winning lottery ticket in the washer and destroyed it.
Well, they can track it from the store, so.
Yeah, so the store manager of this local convenience store that is located in Norwalk, a suburb of Los Angeles, told KTLA 5 that workers know the lady who bought the ticket, and there is actual, believe it or not, video footage of the purchase from the store. The manager said the woman came into the store and told them she put the ticket in her pocket and it went through the washer. The ticket is now destroyed.
So what does that mean?
She don't get her money. If that ticket is destroyed, you don't get no money.
Yeah. So, yeah. California lottery officials have the footage, but it is not enough to verify the woman's claim. Officials need a picture of the front and back of the ticket in order to allow a person to win without the physical ticket. So she lucked out on that one.
She didn't luck out. She ain't get no money.
She didn't get no money.
Yeah, she out of luck.
Yes.
She out of luck on that one.
I
think it's fair because it just put my business hat on. If it's too much liability, if anybody's homeboy can say you won a ticket.
But they had proof. And then I also thought that they tracked the numbers too. I thought that. So that's not true.
Well,
they track the number to the different stores, but still, if I'm at a store.
Oh my God, that lady gonna kill herself.
Shit, life goes on. Life goes on.
26 million, good Lord, that's a lot of money.
I was thinking, when I heard it, I imagine her life was messed up to begin with. I would think that if I had a lotto ticket, I usually don't put that in washer. It just sounds too unbelievable. Because
well, the thing is, she probably buy them all the time and don't think nothing gonna happen. She leave them in her pocket. You know, like you leave receipts and all types of stuff to see.
I know plenty of people that yeah.
It seems I gamble, and I know I double check my numbers. She not no real gambler then. You feel me? If you can't
gambler,
play
I didn't know that.
Yes, ma'am. I learned how to gamble at Southern. Learn how to shout out to Southern University, the Riverboat down in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, playing them crap tables. Learn how to shoot dice down there. And as a gambler, if you are a serious gambler, I could see maybe the opposite star. If she's an inexperienced gambler, she had a ticket. But anybody that smokes Newports and and gets a box 3 or straight or can like go in there and start shooting out their order, they ain't losing no tickets. Anybody in any Lincoln Continentals is not losing any tickets. That is on.
They leaving that ticket in that Newport box, huh?
Yes, they got that loop. They got that Newport. They got their ticket in the sleeve of the Newport box. That's exactly where they have it.
I cannot.
Yeah, man.
That's exactly what it is.
So I meant to say earlier that she is asked out, not left out, but she's asked out. But you know who is not asked out from this whole ordeal? The store.
Oh, because they still get money for being a winning store.
So yeah, so a 130,000 bonus will also be given to the store that sold the ticket.
Wow.
Even if it's not claimed?
Even if it's not claimed.
Oh, shout out to them.
Yeah, man.
I wouldn't have gave her no footage. I'd be like, oops, sorry, yo, that you lost it. I got paid.
Aw, that's mean, B.
I'm sorry. Like, I wouldn't have did much over because you can start getting to looking fishy. It looked fishy when you start doing too much for her. Like,
well, my thing is, if they giving footage, they kind of probably were nice people and really wanted to help the lady. And then if they had enough clues and evidence, if somebody found my stuff and I was still able to get that 26 million for them giving the footage, I would break them off with a little more.
Break them off. Are you sure about that?
I sure would. I would have gave them a good little bit, couple of thousands for definitely being honest about it. I mean, why not?
Are you going to give me a certain percentage, Star?
Give you a certain percentage.
Yeah, or give the station. You know, I run a business. I got the morning show.
Let me tell you something.
I'm just asking since you are
because people do that. You got all that money. Hey, can I get a loan? Give me some of that. Can I hold some of it? Can I have some of that money that you got?
Hey, man. I am part of the UNCF.
What's that?
The United Negro Give Me Your Cash Fund.
But you know what? I will donate a lot. So yeah, I definitely could see myself donating. I love your platform. I love how hard you work. And I definitely would donate to your platform if I had $26 million. Damn right.
Okay. Round of applause for that. Now, you know, this is recorded. This is recorded.
My word is bond. If I won 26 million in the lotto, I would definitely donate to the rich one, to the strong God.
Right now, okay.
Can I get a?
Look at
Bill. He's like, look at B. He's like, yo, bro.
It's easy for her to say that without 26 mil. Right, everybody gets a
lot of money. Why not share some of it with the people that you actually want to share it with, that you believe in? Yeah, I would share it.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Hey, man. Appreciate the love. All right. Time now to get into the part 2 of the conversation. Life is too shortage. So what's the backup plan, ladies and gentlemen? What is the backup plan? Me and Star was talking offline. Actually, let me rewind it back. So I was talking to a few people offline before going into part 2. Now, part 1, I'm just going to revisit part 1 of the show because we did have some of our special guests, including DJ Rollum. We had Mr. Moody from the Jeff is Moody Show, as well as the Griff Man and Michelle Dawes Burt from Real Chicks Rock. We all had a conversation. We touched on it a little bit, and a few people, like Mr. Moody, had to switch up the music beat there for a moment. Mr. Moody, he got vaccinated twice. Michelle Dawes Burt got vaccinated twice. The Griff Man did not get vaccinated. And of course, yours truly, Sean Garvey, is not fully vaccinated. So I've been hearing multiple views and different opinions about it. Just to give you a quick summary, Michelle Dawes Burt went ahead and got it because she has plans to travel outside of Georgia, travel around the world, or just travel to different parts of the country, and she needs to get vaccinated. And she's also thinking about her family. She wants to go back and be around her family more and what have you. Jeff, aka Mr. Moody, went ahead and got vaccinated, of course. He says that he has done the research on it and felt confident that getting a vaccination is needed for him. Now, Griff feels opposite. He feels that he is not trying to put anything that hasn't been, tested or approved or whatever. And he just doesn't feel like he should put anything in his system, just anything. He's taking his herbal meds. He's taking alternative things to keep him healthy. He's going to still go out and wear a mask, but he just doesn't feel like, I don't want to say he doesn't feel like, but that's what he's feeling like. Mm-hmm. And as for me, I'm going to put myself in the position, Star, that I am undecided. Even though I feel wholeheartedly about getting it, because my position on it was that I don't want the government to interfere in what they want me to put in my body, right? I don't want the government to intervene in my body because, just like women that go out and say or speak heavily about abortion, is my body, is my choice. And I don't want to just put anything that I don't know about in my body. And I feel like they're going about it the wrong way. Now, to Michelle's point, the travel part. I do plan on traveling more, and I have to be mindful of that. It's one thing to travel outside of 285 and 75 to other parts of Georgia. But if we're talking about on a global perspective, or a global aspect, right, that's something different. So that's why I'm putting myself in the undecided position. What? So let's say you, Star, because we talked about it offline, and from my understanding, you are not getting the vaccine.
Hell to the double hockey stick. No.
And why?
Well, let's address the elephant in the room, right? It's illegal for someone to enforce vaccinations upon you when it has something to do with violating your rights. Traveling, if you look it up, before anybody go gets this vaccine, just look up and see what the requirements are to travel. Most of these countries on most of these continents aren't requiring that you get the vaccine. They're just requiring that you take the test and your results are negative within that 72-hour time frame, going and coming back, right? So you can still travel without taking the vaccine. Don't let that scare you. Okay. And then for me personally, as far as me, my beliefs go a little higher than normal people. I am one of those people that sometimes people look at and say, oh, she believes in the conspiracies. But at the end of the day, I do believe that they are doing a lot of weird things. I did pull up a couple of articles and kind of like screenshotted it just to remind myself of what they're actually advertising. I don't know if y'all can see this one right here.
It's a little blurry, but if you can
So
go
it
ahead and tell
says,
us what we're seeing.
Ohio governor announces any adult who gets vaccinated will automatically be entered in the statewide $1 million lottery. Another one, NYC Mayor Bill holds press conference announcing partnership with Shake Shack to offer free food to vaccinated residents. And I'll do another one. This is the NJ, New Jersey University, will give students up to $1,000 in incentives to get COVID vaccine. So for me, when people advertise being vaccinated to this extent, there's got to be something behind it. And I feel like people are blindsided. They're not looking at what's really going on around here. And they're just willing to go get some free fried chicken. What are they going to offer us next? J's for the vaccine, you know? So even they doing crawfish brawls and all types of stuff for these people to go and get these vaccines because they're offering free things amongst that. And they know that we're in trying times and people don't have the money. And some of these college students definitely need a little economic helping hand. I think they're taking advantage of our vulnerability to put and inject something into our bodies that is not for us. And for me, that itself, just me talking about that little part itself is a no for me. It's a no for me.
All right. Okay. Let's say you, B Diddy LLC. You took the vaccine, correct?
I have not taken the vaccine. No, I have not taken the vaccine. I was listening to the story about the traveling, and like Star says, there's a lot of misinformation that's going out there. That's really readily available information that you can get a waiver from anywhere. If you want to it's America. You can get a religious waiver for anything. Yep. It's been going on before. It's been going on before COVID. It's going to be going on after COVID. So I don't like how people just like lost that part of their mind. Like, why did they even forget that you could have waivers? You can travel even if you don't have it. All you got to do is just claim religious exemption. There are large communities where the COVID has killed dozens of people, right? Killed hundreds of people because they claim the religious exemption, but that's their right. And you will be able to travel behind that with simple Google and research. So don't be trapped into thinking that you can't go to Korea or like you want to because you ain't been vaccinated. So that's something that that stuck home to me. What I've been doing, because the fact that I'm a low risk person, my age, my health, what my activities and such are clean. I try to keep cleanly, and I just been waiting it out. I look at the cycle for a vaccine and the testing and everything, and waiting it out actually stopped me from getting the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. So I feel like I've waited it out some, and I've also taken some time to understand some of the processes, some of the companies, like how did we even hear about Moderna? You feel me? Where did that even come from? So when I took back and sat back and look at everything, I'm the type of person, it take me 18 months to update my iPhone. So I'm not going to update my personal operating system that quickly. After doing my research though, I am leaning towards taking a second generation style vaccine, not this third generation style, the mRNA vaccines that they have right now. Mm-hmm. I will take maybe a Pfizer, but I'm definitely more inclined to take something that's more second generation, something that we have, because when they have the third generation vaccines, right, they don't have any parts of the vaccine in there. Any part of the virus in the vaccine. They use technology to get information and teach your body through technology, the mRNA and all that complex stuff, which I'm not a doctor, which I don't understand. But I basically understand that one vaccine style, which we grew up on, was the one where they put a little piece of it in your body and your body learns to defend it. I'm still like, okay, if I don't go with Pfizer, if I don't find one of them, I'm gonna go with a Pfizer one.
But gotcha. So let let me ask you this, B, because we heard what Star said a few moments ago, and she gave her reasons to avoiding herself from getting it. But it sounds to me that you are planning to get the vaccine. You just haven't done it yet. You're just weighing it out, but you do plan on getting vaccinated. So what is your opinion or perspective towards Star and her assessment?
It's a little bit, to me, it's a little ad hominem or maybe a red herring kind of argument that they're giving $1 million to people entering a lottery. Is not the diabolical sense. I feel like there may be good people on the other side. I like to play the token on my other side. What's $1 million really to billionaires they got? And if they're trying to think about the global good and the statewide good, they would really willingly give up $1 million to encourage people to at least think about getting the vaccine, which they, in all good faith, I feel like believe is safe. Because in my opinion, I feel like they're taking it. So they feel like it's safe.
You know what? My eyes went big on that. It really did. Because perception is everything. Me and you both, we are personality people. We do understand. I went and got my master's in broadcasting, and the first thing they teach us is perception. They give you a little and they allow you to assume and make your own judgment about what the news is that they're giving you. Now, for me, just like these entertainers entertain, and that's not their real life, they do the same thing with this vaccine. I do not believe they're all taking it, because if you realize and see the entertainers that have taken it, the families are very vocal, including DMX, that he died after getting that vaccine. Now that man had, excuse me, DMX, I love you so much, chocolate drop, but he was on drugs for how long and ain't croak. Okay. And after he takes the vaccine, he croaks. And they talk about so many other celebrities that after they've taken the vaccine have passed away. I can't even remember, but I remember it was another celebrity they had all over social media. It went viral. And for me, working in the medical field and seeing exactly what is happening to my actual colleagues from taking the vaccines, certain things going on with their body, headaches and nervous issues and twitchings and all types of these weird things, even to the point of somebody taking a second dose and definitely passing away after complaining about several headaches for 4 or 5 days in a row. So for me, those things are very alarming, being that I am in real life, real time, experiencing these things around me with people that I know personally. I cannot say that these people are putting up millions of dollars to let us know how safe it is. Some of these people are literally getting paid. Bill Gates is literally cutting a check for people to advertise, go on tour, make music, and just create these beautiful commercials where they're vulnerable and make people kind of go into it like, take the vaccine, let's save lives, let's do, those type of things, just to get at our emotion. Any type of marketing scheme acts on emotion. Even the stock market acts on emotion. So I think if we're aware about exactly what they're trying to do and look beyond ourselves and look at the bigger, I guess, business picture, people are making money off of these vaccines. There definitely are patents owned by the government for the vaccine. Bill Gates invested so much money into Moderna. I know you said you did your research, so you know exactly what he's doing. So people want their money. And in order for them to get their money, they're going to enforce us taking these vaccines. Now, that's not a conspiracy. That's straight facts.
Okay, before we go to B, let me just chime in on that, on the part that you said about DMX, God rest his soul, because there have been other people, even some well-known people, that have taken the shot and then a day or two after that, they fell off the face of the planet.
Mm-hmm.
And another well-known figure that comes to my mind is Hank Aaron. There's video footage of him taking the shot.
I couldn't remember. Thank you, Sean.
Baseball legend, baseball player, Hank Aaron. He took the shot. Next thing you know, he passes. And that, I find that, to me, this is Sean Garvey speaking, I find that to be questionable. And that's one of the things that reserved.
Y'all remember Herman Cain died this summer after going to the Republican National Convention.
Right.
And he had been battling cancer. He was in his 70s and he had passed away. People were saying, even then on that side, they were saying, no, COVID didn't kill him. He was just an old person and he just happened to die 30 days after that. Their people pass away, and they pass away for unknown reasons. It is ad hominem. It's illogical to associate those deaths with COVID without a report from a coroner, without that says that it's from the vaccine. These are erroneous claims that can kill people. So we got to be careful about claiming that Hank Aaron died from COVID vaccine. No, his wife actually came out and said that it wasn't related to the COVID vaccine. So we are actually dishonoring. Hank Aaron owned 27 Popeyes chicken restaurants.
So what? More money.
He is worth $100 million. How much money do you think they would have to pay?
Bill Gates is worth billions, but his greedy ass still wanted more money.
How much do you think people see? I come from a place where I know snitches. And if you start dealing with millions of dollars given to people, somebody gonna snitch, there's gonna be a paper trail. People will snitch for cheeseburgers, okay?
People have been snitching.
There's nobody snitched on this Hank Aaron situation that you're saying. So you made a claim that Hank Aaron,
that situation.
So exactly. So respect the man's legacy. And if you ain't got a claim, his wife came out and said the opposite. So if his wife said that, then why are we going to disagree with his wife?
But let me just respond to B. Diddy's argument. Let me just respond to that. We're not saying that Hank Aaron died from COVID. We're not saying that. I'm saying that to me, it's questionable. You know what I mean? It's kind of far from a coincidence. Like, he could have, of course, died from natural causes or whatever he was suffering from. But I just know that from people that have taken the vaccine, and I'm not just saying for everybody, I'm just saying people who have taken the vaccine after they took the shots or whatever, like, yeah, they tell you that you're going to have side effects from taking the vaccine. But people that I know who have hardly been sick or almost close to never been sick before taking the vaccine, and then all of a sudden they took the vaccine and yeah, they felt the side effects. Like, people are having brain tumors for the first time after taking the vaccine and what have you. So to me, that's questionable. And like, I'm gonna tell you something also
but guys, to answer this question, a lot of things are questionable, but you have to have evidence to support it. I got in a car accident after Michael Jackson died. Is my car accident related to Michael Jackson dying, or was I in a car accident because I was?
Come on, those are two different, completely different.
Absolutely, that's
scenarios. We're relating the vaccine that has the same symptoms as these people are actually getting. People are dropping dead. People are having headaches. They're having blood clots, chills, all of these things, to an actual vaccine as well in real life, what is really happening from catching COVID and actually using a vaccine. This is not Michael Jackson and Michael Jordan, or a car and Michael Jackson. Like,
the two things are unrelated, is what I'm saying. You got, in order to make that connection, you need evidence. And if you don't have no evidence, then it's an erroneous claim, and it's hurtful. It's not scientific. It's not scholarly. And just like, keep it cute. You know what I mean? Golly, what are we here for? We here to progressive people, right? right?
Yeah, we're here to
Right.
inform, and we're here to educate, and we're also here to give opinions and perspectives as well.
And
so
use our common sense. Let's not forget about that. I know common sense is not so common, but if it's in your face and it's right there and it's blue, the color's blue, and you're calling it yellow, then maybe you're just blind.
Let me finish. That's not the same thing as scholarly evidence. You have to test it and then make a scientific approach to it. The just assuming that because like if we're not going to talk about anything, I want to talk about the assumption that Hank Aaron died because he got the COVID vaccine, and you just like standing on that. That's like what if you
nobody's standing on that, and I don't want to make it about Hank Aaron.
I do. That's what I'm saying.
This whole show about Hank Aaron because it seems like you have a personal relationship with Hank Aaron.
Absolutely
what I talked about was DMX and how his family came out and said it, and we use Hank Aaron as another example of that possibly being the same thing because of people speaking of it. We're not literally pointing the finger and saying this man did or didn't. He could have died from constipation for all I damn know, but I don't want the emotional roller coaster ride that you're on because of your personal relationship with Hank Aaron to be our whole topic of this conversation.
I don't have a personal relationship with Hank Aaron, but it's the same way that I feel about a lot of things that it gets political, and I want to talk about one question, and like it is a public referendum that can be issued if we feel like this XYZ celebrity passed away because of the COVID vaccine. Stop it. Let's research it. If not, it's going to be ad hominem, fake news, like we talked before. It's not logical. It's not something that I can take to the bank and sign a check off on. It's not something that I could sit here and risk my life on. You guys talk about people that you know that had got the vaccine and they had health concerns. I know, well, I have people that got the vaccine and don't have health concerns, so those don't matter. The people that are well after
those do matter.
So then let's look at the numbers then. What's the numbers? So you're not saying the numbers, you're just saying individual.
Are you saying the numbers?
The numbers are documented in the research. I believe that the
numbers are documented about the people that have taken the vaccine that has no effect. But if you know about HIPAA, right? Some of these celebrities, they sign privacy consents that you cannot give out their information. You cannot talk about how they died, what they went to the hospital for, and et cetera, and et cetera. And I know this for a fact from working in the medical field, that if any patient tells you they don't want you to break the glass, then you cannot break the glass. So then that leaves room for speculation, right? So if you can't break the glass, then you can't add that to statistics. You can't add that to truth and facts and science. You can't add their autopsies to it. So that could be an imbalance of what you call scientific evidence.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the people that research the vaccines, the clinical trials. That's the numbers. Yes, they did put in there that they're given 4.7 billion vaccines. Okay, so they have a percentage that they're saying that will be affected by that 4.7 billion people who have to get the vaccine. If we're looking at 1%, 0.1%, 0.01% of those people have adverse side effects, that's 47 million people in the world are going to have adverse side effects to the vaccine. That's like 0.01%. That is a high human toll, and that's unfortunate. But hundreds of thousands of people have died from the vaccine. So we had to look at it, and we had to look at it and make a calculated decision. And you can Google the research that is peer-reviewed research and not the speculation, as I like to say.
I like the fact that you call everything speculation, and the fact that we have to base a lot of things on science. If we based a lot of things on science, we'll be mutants, okay? The fact of the matter is, that's how far-fetched you are talking when you talk about base things on science, because some things you don't need science to know what common sense is. Like if If you feel sick, then you're sick. Do I have to go to a scientist for a scientist to tell me that I have a cold if I'm coughing? Like, if I know that you're limping on your right hand side and you wasn't limping yesterday, then I know for a fact something must have happened to you to make you limp. I see that. That's common sense. I see the transition, the change. If somebody is literally sitting there complaining to me, telling me, hey, I took this vaccine, I'm feeling weird, and I keep hearing the same thing over and over, and they're all saying the same kind of symptoms, and then some of them pass away from those things, then for me, that's kind of like right there in my, what more science do I damn need? That's right there in my face. Literally, I'm going through that experience, and I know, and I don't need scientific evidence to know that I'm feeling a certain way because I know my body from taking something that is foreign to my body.
Okay, I want to jump in. B. I want to jump in real quick. This is almost turning into Fox News. But it's a great
the whole vaccine process. The whole vaccine process is very political. Like Bill Gates' role has been so misunderstood the whole time. Bill Gates stepped in to help where public money stopped. So he's a billionaire. So after like H1N1, SARS, MERS, there was public outside and public money that was helping to go finance the research and the vaccines for those conditions. But when the public outcry died, that's when the money died. Bill Gates stepped in 2019 with a group of other billionaires and geopolitical figures to help fill the gap. Now, the problem that I have is that it does get kind of very touchy when you start talking about billionaires deciding what's good for the world.
Right, because that's the only thing that they're doing.
They're trying their best, though. They're people like us.
They want power and they want control over us.
They got all the money in the world, Star.
And that's exactly why they're using it to their advantage. Money is a tool, and that's all it is. So people who have money use it as such. When you don't have money, you don't understand that money is used as a tool to gain power.
Let me jump in because both of you all are making great valid points. And I don't disagree with some of what B is saying, because of course in the court of public opinion or in the court of law, you have to produce evidence. It's not what you know, it's what you can prove, right? At the same time, with the system. And I do agree with what you're also saying too, Star. We can also look at this as a money game when we are dealing with the medical industry or pharmaceuticals as a whole. Because think about it, or people that are going to get vaccinated, they're going to either medical centers, they are either going to CVS pharmacies. These are places where either the doctor is telling you that you need this pill, you need that pill, you need these over-the-counter pills to make you feel better, or you go to your CVS pharmacy store or your store that sells these medicines, hoping that you're going to get better by taking these over-the-counter pills. For me, I have been on organic herbal remedies before, or actually moments, or I would say days before the pandemic. Okay, so like I give you a prime example. 2019, November and December of 2019, I talked to a friend about this previously. I was sick back to back around the Thanksgiving holiday and the Christmas holiday, right? I was coughing, I was sneezing, stretched throat, everything, the whole 9 yards, right? Mm-hmm. Now, of course, I did go and get medicine and do all this to get better. Then the pandemic happens. Then COVID happened, coronavirus happened, right? I started doing the research, and I had an herbalist tell me, Sean, all you need to do is get some vitamin D, zinc, get on this steam therapy thing, get some elderberry, get all these ingredients. You don't need to go and get an Advil or this or whatever from CVS or whatever. This is what you need to do. I was like, okay, cool, bet. Before the pandemic, I hardly taken any vitamins. I hardly taken elderberry or those things that I was just talking about, right? So as soon as I started getting on this herbal from the beginning of 2020 all the way up to now, I have never been sick. Never. I've only had a headache. I only had a headache if I haven't eaten food all day. Right? But I have never gotten sick. I've been in and out of the medical centers to get tested for COVID-19. All of my results came back negative. So what I'm saying to this very day is that at the end of the day, it's a choice to get vaccinated. Like, we can talk about the political stuff, we can talk about the money game of it all day, right? But I feel like it should be a choice and not a mandatory type of thing, as if the narrative is being pushed out there saying that, okay, you got to go get vaccinated. You got to go get vaccinated. And that's why they're pushing all these incentives. Like Star said earlier, they're pushing all these incentives to get the entire world, not just America, but the entire world to 100%. And I'm like, you know, if you are making this mandatory, what are the consequences? Like, does that mean that if I'm not vaccinated and I go to a place of business and I want to meet friends and hang out or whatever, does that mean that I got to pull up with a documentation form or a sheet of paper saying, hey, I'm vaccinated. Like, it's a lot of confusion. I can understand why the general public feels a certain type of way about it, and for those that don't want to get vaccinated, because there's a lot of confusion involved in it. So whoever want to take a stab at that, Star, B, go for
it. Go. If you look at the consequences, I definitely understand being concerned about what we had to do with vaccine passports. But if we're not talking about the hundreds of thousands of dead people and trying to relieve that consequence, right? Trying to get out of that situation, then what are we really talking about? Like, we still got to think about even what you just said right now. They're not trying to get 100% of people vaccinated. They're only trying to get, I believe it's half or 60 some percent. So there's still miseducation even in this very conversation that's going on with the vaccination. So Google can be a very helpful friend for everybody that's looking for the actual research and something that's based in evidence.
Star?
So for me, it's a couple of different things, because he keeps talking about based on evidence and stuff like that. So when COVID first came out, right, we were definitely, I was a first line person working in the hospitals, and we weren't allowed to get the vaccine. And we weren't allowed to wear masks because it would scare the patients. So we end up actually being more receptive to getting COVID, because we were on a front line. We were supposed to be the smiling face to calm everyone down, right? When they come into the hospitals. When they finally started giving the option for the vaccines, well, when they started like, hey, the vaccines are going to come out and blah, 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 blah. It was kind of like questionable about, you know, how sufficient it was going to be and who would be getting the vaccines and stuff like that. And they announced it on the news that, of course, the frontline workers will be the first to get the vaccine, the nurses, the doctors, blah, 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 right? So I go to work. They put out an option saying you have the option to take the vaccine. And it was a survey done. How likely are you to take the vaccine? How unlikely are you to take the vaccine? So at one of the hospitals that I worked with, literally it was like a 80-20%. The exact numbers were, I think, was like 78% were more like not wanting to take the vaccine as nurses, doctors, and all of this, because of the concern of it being such a new vaccine, and they're not knowing exactly the benefits of it, and the effects of what it could do to your body. And then we had, of course, that other 20-something%, 30, close to 30%, who said, hey, we're gonna take the vaccine. It's just like any other vaccine. In their mind, are thinking it's just like you take them, they help you, blah blah blah. Kind of like generalization, not really caring about maybe those effects, but more so thinking this gotta help us. Like we have nothing else, so it's gonna help us, right?
Hey, really quick, Star, I don't mean to interrupt, but B Diddy gotta go. But B Diddy, we really appreciate you for coming on the Beat Break Morning Show. And any last words before we let you go home?
The best thing you do for your health is make sure that your pee is clear. Drink more water. And the best thing you do for your timeline is follow me at B Diddy Dollars. Excuse me, at B Diddy the DJ. B Diddy the DJ. Excuse me, I changed the name.
B Diddy the DJ.
B Diddy the DJ. I appreciate y'all having me on. I love to prove Star wrong another time. And thank you for having me.
All right, thank you, homie. All right,
thank you, B.
That was B Diddy LLC.
Diddy dollars, Diddy.
Come here, Carter.
Right on the Beat Break Morning Show.
Carter, come here, Carter. Say what's up to the people. Come here.
Carter wants to say something.
You don't want to say nothing now. All right, bye, y'all.
Bye. All right. Let's see. He's about to log off. That was B Diddy LLC right here on the Beat Break Morning Show, the Beat Break Podcast. If you're just now joining with us, we are talking about this vaccination thing, and it got kind of intense between Star and B. Like I'm in the middle, ladies and gentlemen. I'm in the middle. I see what Star is saying. I see what B is saying. I'm just saying, there's a lot of confusion going on because at the end of the day, yeah, we can do the research. There is the thing called Google. There is the thing called internet, right? We can do the research, but even on the internet, there is some misinformation out there. I'm just saying, of course, do the research, but gather as much information as possible to draw your own conclusion, right? Whether it may be the same as B or not.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean,
it's more than CNN and Dr. Fauci and all these other news outlets. I think that's another problem too, Star, with the whole confusion, is because, news reporters, they doing their job. It's a money thing. And they just saying, hey, get the vaccine, get the vaccine, get the vaccine. And then to B's point, President Biden wants everybody to get vaccinated. Everybody is not half. Everybody is not half. Everybody.
Biden.
I know we have some opinions about him. But I mean, listen, if I change my mind by next week and say that I'm going to go ahead and get vaccinated, it's because I want to. It's not going to be for the system that wants me to. It's going to be, I want to.
Right.
I just think that,
it has to be that.
Right. I just think that it wasn't much thought into the whole thing, because when you are commander-in-chief and you're telling the free world that for those that have not gotten vaccinated, if you have not been vaccinated, wear a mask. It's like we living under the honor system. And if you know anything about that system, then
it's
you know
system, that's for sure.
It's an honor system within a broken system, ladies and gentlemen. That's just like you telling me, Sean, your car needs to be insured. But when you get in the car, make sure you wear a seatbelt at all times. Okay. But how will you know that I'm going to wear a seatbelt or not? How will you know? I mean, I can get pulled over by the police, and
Yeah.
That's one thing. But I just think you can't monitor every single body. You just can't reprimand. You can't reprimand everybody for not getting vaccinated. It's impossible. It's impossible. Yeah. But
I know, right?
Yeah, we only got a few minutes left right here on the Beat Break Morning Show, the Beat Break Podcast. I really want to touch on this gas shortage real quick because I feel like it intertwines into the vaccination. Because the gas, I know that's a layer on top of another layer.
I like it though.
But yeah, but it's panic on top of panic. You know, fortunately for me, I haven't ran out of gas. I was able to get gas early and fill up and what have you. But it was pandemonium seeing people fight each other to get gas. I mean, there was one video where I seen two people fight over gas. Star, could this be? I mean, do you think this is the system way? Because you got to look at it like, you know, we live in a synthetic world, and everything is done purposely by design, right? So do you think it's, you know, do you think this whole, you know, getting the vaccination and the gas shortage, what does this all mean to you, Star?
Well, a few things. Of course, they're still trying to keep, I don't want to go too deep, but I do know it's, as far as the vaccinations are concerned, they have been trying to keep us at bay. And when we started wanting to come out more and do more, then now we get this whole like, oh, we don't have any gas. So if people fear that they don't have any gas, then they're not going to want to go out. They're not going to want to do things. And I feel like maybe the powers to be may have some things up their sleeve, things that they need to get out, put out into the atmosphere. And they don't want all of the interaction going on while they're doing it. So they're using other things to distract us, of course, like running out of gas. And to be frank with you, a lot of these gas stations have gas. I know two people that own gas stations and they still have gas, but they have out of gas signs on their thing because they want to preserve the gas for their families and, you know, people that they know personally, but they still have enough gas to keep going. They just don't, they're selective about who they're giving the gas out to at this point. That I will put out there.
Yeah.
And then about the cars, right now we are transitioning into where cars are more built on hybrid and electrical. Tesla is one of the number one producers of electrical cars. So if people panic and they think that they, we you know, this may happen again when we run out of gas, people are going to go run to things that don't need gas. They're going to want to go purchase Tesla. Even Ford is coming out with an electrical car. They're going to go get some hybrid where they could just put some water in it. So I do believe that it could be strategic based on the stock market as well, and wanting to gain money from Tesla and Ford, because a lot of the power to bees also have money invested in those things as well.
Yeah. Yeah, man, it's very interesting that a lot of these things are coming down the pipe at the same time. It just puts people more and more into panic mode. But, you know, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. But, hey, Star, we're running a little bit out of time right here on the Beat Break Morning Show, the Beat Break Podcast. But we really enjoy both you and B. Diddy LLC.
Yes.
For coming on the Beat Break Morning Show this morning, engaging into a little bit of a debate combat. But hey, it makes great radio, and a lot of the things that we talked about will not make it to mainstream radio. That's just what it is. It is not what it is. But I want to clear something up earlier, and I felt like we did clear it up. We're not saying that Hank Aaron, legendary baseball player Hank Aaron, died from COVID.
Right.
We didn't say that. We didn't say that. I said that I just find it questionable or far from a coincidence that he passed away from whatever he succumbed to days after he got the vaccine. So I just wanted to clarify that for the second or third time. on the morning show.
Thank you.
Please do not come after me. Do not cancel culture me.
Well, Brandon is the one that was saying, oh my God, like you guys are attacking him. I love him. And it's like, no, we're not. We're just saying what is being said. We're not saying it actually is, because we don't really know that part.
Mm-hmm. No, but I like B. I mean, I like his perspective.
I do. And I told like you, he's going to come with his perspective, and I love him for it. You know?
Yeah.
I've been knowing him for over 10 years. I know his perspective.
And y'all getting in like that?
Yeah. Like I've been knowing him. We had our own podcast. I was the co-host on the Heartland podcast.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Okay. So
hey,
the energy is there.
Yeah, because y'all were going in like a married couple. Like I know this person.
We know each other for so long. Yeah. Like we're like not married couple. Okay. Right. But we're more like really close friends, business ships. We've done so much together. I am comfortable with being transparent in that conversation and stuff with him. It's good. It's good.
Absolutely. All right. So Star, once again, tell people, if you haven't already, tell people where they can follow you at.
Please, you guys, I want you guys to follow me. Also on my YouTube, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, She Talk Atlanta V as in vagina. She Talk Atlanta V as in vagina. I definitely go live and it is lit. Okay. Also, please listen to my podcast on all podcast platforms from Google to Apple, Spotify, wherever you want to go. I am streaming live over 2 continents and 9 countries plus and counting.
Okay.
Thank you guys for tuning in and listening to me on here. I love you, Sean. I appreciate you.
Love you back.
Can't wait to come back.
Yes, we're going to bring you back now. We're going to bring you back. All right. Follow me on all social media at Sean Garvey, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Sean Garvey, ATL, and then, of course, at Beat Break Radio. All right. Stay tuned. We got a little bit more of the Beat Break Morning Show. And then coming up on beatbreakradiofm.com is BB Mobile Apps Podcast, as well as Maya Akai, My Ambition, Your Ambition. And in the afternoon, the Jeff Moody Show with DJ Natural and the Ryan Show FM, followed by the Random Select Podcast, Radio Super. And to end the night will be Just a Touch of J, as well as Light Lounge. We got all that and more coming up right here on the Beat Break Morning Show, the Beat Break Podcast. Also, wait a minute. DJ Raver, the DJ Raver mix, the pop-off party mix coming up later on tonight as well. All of that and more on beatbreakradiofm.com. And make sure you download that Podcast FM app. We out. The Beat Break Morning Show.